In today's episode we build the armory and finally finish the Minutemen HQ. So let's get into it. Oh, welcome back, Gaming for XP. Final part of the Minutemen HQ build, and as you can see there's been a few changes since you last joined me. I've done quite a bit of decoration. Today we're going to build an armory inside here. So we'll just change the walls a little bit and we'll get into it. So that piece of wood that's sticking up there is just a placeholder for me, so I didn't forget about it. I know I do from time to time, but that's been done quite deliberately so I can see what height I need to get to. Okay, so I'm just changing the look of that particular area and defining it a little bit. Move that out of the way for a second. So I've got a little bit of a statue happening outside, as you can see. And I've tried to make this a little bit different to what I've done in the past. Because you've seen how I generally build these kind of counters. So I just do a little bit different, trying to get it to fit in with the style of the house as well. Just checking if it'll snap in here, so I'm probably going to have to take that outside. No, place anywhere's okay, we're good. That's it. Fantastic. So I had a practice run, hence why everything's sitting outside. And this has been, I've enjoyed building this whole facility. Actually, it's been really good. It's really challenged me to come up with some new ideas and new building techniques to get it done. Now you see how that's flickering? If you just click off it, it will stop it flickering. All good. For some reason that wants to flick up. I can't get that any higher on the wall. I don't know why. I think that looks as though it's a little bit, needs to be moved a little bit. Okay, so what next? So here's the thing that you might not realize, and again I was watching a video the other day and I didn't actually know, but you can fit these shelves on the front of these counters, just like that. And if you then have something like do it yourself, you can do this kind of things. And I think it just makes it look a little bit different to what you're used to seeing. The good thing about good do it yourself is it actually has some full shelves and half shelf fillers for decoration, so it actually looks okay. Now, having done that, I decide to move that and I have to do it again, but never mind. For now, just put that up there. I think it's here I realise I've got to move this counter because I haven't given enough room at the front. And you'll see, just watch the fun what happens in a minute. So just looking for various things to do. I tried putting this up on the wall here. Potentially something that could fit in there. In the end I don't like it, so I take it out. But I'll struggle with it for a couple minutes anyway. Why not? Yeah, I don't like it. It's not working for me. I think that one of the things is to keep it simple and don't overthink things. And certainly with this build, that's exactly what I do. I don't, with the armory, I didn't want it to look out of place, and I wanted to keep it fairly simple, straightforward kind of build. And I'm just waiting for the build menu to load again. which, as you would understand, can take quite a while to do. And it's like watching paint dry, isn't it? So we'll get rid of that. Don't like that. Let's put a shelf system or something in there. I'm not quite sure what I want to do here. Ah, that's right. So I realised that actually will fit in there. So let's just put that to one side for now. And let's just completely undo what we've just done. Why not? And redo it. And again, you know, when you're building, why not? If you find a better solution, why wouldn't you put it in there? I think the look of that counter is much better for what we're doing, and the overall look, and it fits in with those display cabinets and a few other things as well. So I think it's a good choice, if I can actually remember to put it in place, of course. But now, one of the things I was kind of wondering is, as I'm doing this, is I wonder if those shelves are actually going to physically fit on there. Luckily for me, they do. Okay. Just leave that there for now. So just trying to get this positioning right. I didn't actually need to place anywhere for it, because it actually does just fit into that space nicely. Here we go. So you now know how to do this. Yeah, pardon me. It doesn't. And we'll put those in there. So it's a very simple kind of little area to have. I must admit, I struggled a little bit in this build on what to include and what not to include. The Fallout community actually helped me out with a number of suggestions. And there's a number of suggestions that I didn't use, but I might do something in the future with. And for some reason this doesn't want to go in here later on. Okay, so what's next? Let's fill up those shelves, I think. Yeah. And for some reason this time it doesn't want to use those full decoration pieces. They only accept the half pieces. So obviously when you put those shelves in, sometimes it can do some weird stuff. That's okay. It's all starting to look okay. Why don't we fill up the shelf in there? And we can put some clothing and armor in there as well. And you can see you can either have a full shelf, or you can mix up different elements. Oh, okay. So I'm just having a good look and see what's in here. Yeah, nothing that I really want. So we'll just do this. Yep. And I'm not going to fill up all these shelves, but you know, I love this mod, do it yourself. It's very quick and easy, and it very effective when it looks how it looks in the end. You know me, I like to keep things nice and simple. Okay, so I think what I look here, it just looks a bit too plain. So I want to try and make it look a little bit more security and secure looking. So I have an idea to use these. Take them outside first. And you see my nice little statue there? A very simple thing to do. You just put a foundation block down and pop him on top. You just want that to blend in with the wall a little bit back there. Gotta get it right though. Just checking that it will fit in there. Try and line it up with the door. get it nice and straight. Yep. Just push it back just a fraction. How does that look? Maybe just a little bit more, not much. Now I do have an issue with the second one here, and I think it's got to do with the collision of those ammunition boxes on that left hand side. And actually we have to take them off in the end to get this second piece in. See how it's sitting a little bit off the counter, because it'll snap there and it'll snap in front, but it won't go, see, it'll snap in front like that, but it's not exactly where I want it. So I'd redo that a little bit later just to make sure it fits in nicely. And why don't we put a door in while we're here? And I like the look of this door. I think it all kind of fits subtly into the armory without making it look too over the top. So now I'm going to use these columns or beams that they have in the mod, just to fill in that gap. These are fantastic. They can be a bit finicky to get in. You see, I'll put one down the bottom there. I'll show you in a second. So you see they're jumping a little bit all over the place, but just persist with them. They will go in. There you go. And what you have to do is put one lower there, and then stack it on top. There we go. And one more. Come on, you can go in. Come on. Sometimes if you spin them around, just got to be careful. And I think I will check that they're not sticking through. Just make sure they're not sticking on the outside of the walls. So I apologise for it looking a bit strange, the video here, because I'd run into the night time and I've tried to enhance the video so at least you can see. So the colours look a little bit weird, so I apologise for that, but better that you can see what I'm doing. And you can see I moved the ammunition boxes now and that fits nicely. And there's a radstone which is not helping things either. So this is another new mod that I'm using at the moment, and it does take me, I won't lie, it does take me a while to get used to it, and I've cut out a lot of me playing around with it and trying to get it in position and putting things onto it. So there's a whole lot of different display boards that you can get in all different kind of configurations, and the developers done a good job in putting different types of guns into different boards, which I think is good. And there's a little nameplate at the bottom there to tell you exactly what will fit in there and how many slots there are and all that kind of stuff. So it's I like the mod. It's just taken me a little bit of time to get used to things, and that's more about me than the developer. Okay, all good. Put these ammunition boxes back. The second one for some reason doesn't want to sit up here. It just doesn't want to fit for some reason. So I end up glitching it in. It's quite a rad storm outside, I can tell. Okay, so come on. That's it. So that's there, it's good. All good. And I'm not going to show you too much more. These plants, by the way, are just there for I've put them in there because I knew I was going to use them. I found them in the menu, so I just laid out a few on that I was going to use them a little bit later. Okay, there's a space there to put this lounge in there. That's it, beautiful, that fits. And there's a whole lot of stuff upstairs that I actually haven't put into this build. You'll see it in the final tour in a minute, but it's a lot of it was decoration, and I really didn't think it was teaching you much more than what we'd already. So there, the colours back. So there you go. Nice little armory. And so here's the final tour. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed the build. You can see the Minuteman flag flying, and we've got a little bit of a statue happening there. It's early in the morning in sunshine tiding, so it's a nice misty day. I added some of these support packets there. There's a little bit of fence, put the generator up on a little bit of a foundation, a little bit of a fence around it. And so I think we should just go up onto the veranda and have a look, and then go inside. Sounds good to me. So we might give you some music for this. So as you can see, this upstairs you haven't actually seen much of. Just made it a quick operations area, a little bit of an office area. Not too much to it. Kept with my mantra of keeping things nice and simple. But there's lots of little subtle details in the build. So at the front, this is actually a statue, but these statues are very effective. This gentleman just chunked it up, put all the stuff you'd expect to see up here. You know, your sandbags, your explosives boxes, etc. A couple of turrets. Of course, you'd come out here and maybe have a chat or a drink or a cigarette or whatever, so there's a couple of chairs there. Very, very simple. And finally, the last area is the war room, conference table. And again, I've tried to keep it in keeping with the rest of the build and the rest of the building. There's certainly a lot of decisions being made in here. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed this build. I've had a lot of fun doing it. It certainly was challenging. I wasn't sure where it was going to go when I first started it, but it's been good. And thanks for supporting the channel, and thanks for watching. Catch you later.